Hello, everybody. My name is Diane Olivo-Posner, and I am the Principal Librarian, Associate Director for the Creativity and Exploration and Creativity Department for the Los Angeles Public Library. And I'm here today to introduce one of our LA Made summer programs. LA Made is cultural programs that are sponsored and funded by the National Endowment for the Humanities. I would like to thank our Library Foundation for helping us to manage the funds that bring you these programs. I want to make sure to announce that next week's program, which will be on July 23rd at 4 p.m., will be featuring Robert Pressler, the president of the California Bonsai Society. Mr. Pressler will be helping us learn how to create a bonsai tree and how to maintain this tree. So looking forward to that program. And I also want to make sure you're all part of the Summer Reading Challenge. Just by coming and watching this program today virtually, you are earning yourself a badge for summer reading. So I hope you will take a look at that. It's on our webpage, lapl.org/summer, and help us by having some fun this summer with all these challenges. And now I'd like to introduce today's presenter. Michael Lane is a certified practicing animal communicator and healer. He will explain what animal communication is and how to practice it, and how we can help our companion animals and deepen our bond with them. And I even have my special buddy here, Miss Mambo, and she can't wait to listen to Michael. Over to you, Michael.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. My name is Michael Lane. Welcome to the Introduction to Animal Communication class. I want to thank Diane and the LA Public Library for, asking me to do this. And there's definitely some other people I'd like to thank for giving me this opportunity, which I really appreciate, talking about my favorite subject, which is animals. So I also wanted to, like her predecessor there at the LA Library, who first gave me my chance here, is Wendy Westgate. Also Annie at the John C. Fremont Library, where I did my first presentation. And then I also want to thank Catherine Ely at the Felipe de Neve Library. That's where I would be making this presentation in person if we weren't quarantined. So I really appreciate her asking me to do this or choosing my program. Also Susan Fukushima there for the social media. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I want to say a little bit about this program. Initially, like when we were going to do it live in person, I was going to take everyone who attended through a meditation so they could connect with an animal themselves. Because of the fact that we can't do this in person and there's not sort of a give and take, we can't do it this way. I'm going to explain to you what it is and sort of take you all the way up to doing it. But I will not be able, it's one of those skills that we learn by doing rather than sort of, but this class will still be fun. You'll still, I will think it will open your minds. And at the end, with whatever time we have after our talk, I plan on connecting with your animals individually just for a short, like one question. So if you think of, one animal that you have and one question, I can connect with them. And so it'll still be fun for that reason. Neil, can we go to the PowerPoint? Great. So yes, my business is called Animal Michael Lane because I like to put the animals first, and I want, like, when people think of animals to think of me. And I also want to point out that that guy staring back at us is my cat Picasso, who is sort of my logo and definitely inspiration for me. And I'll go on. Oops. Oh, there. And that's him helping me with this presentation. All the good stuff is from Picasso. If you have a problem with anything, it's probably my input, so don't blame him. And especially in quarantine, as you can see, we're sort of inseparable. I seriously consider Picasso my brother in sort of every way you think of that term, other than probably, you know, from the same mother. I'm sure that that probably didn't happen, although I could check my birth certificate. But yeah, our bond is that deep and that strong that that's how we think of each other. Also, our communication is that open. Like, I know he thinks of me as his brother. He knows that I think of him as his brother. So yeah, that's, you know, the big inspiration for me is, you know, animals, is the animals that I know and that I've had. So here's a bold statement. I consider animal communication a superpower. And I say that because if I can sort of be in my little bedroom here, as you see behind me, while at the same time I'm connecting with a white lion in Africa, and I know what this white lion thinks and what this white lion feels and what he wants, I think that qualifies as a superpower. And yes, I've done that. The great thing about this superpower actually is that we all are born with it. We all can do this. It's a skill. It is the animal's natural language is like what I do. It's called telepathy. I want to explain that. So how I connect with animals is through something called telepathy. Telepathy, the simplest definition, is the transference of pictures, words, and feelings from one living being to another. As I said, we are all born as human beings knowing telepathy, but we have this thing called speech, which we learn very early on and that we rely on solely. Telepathy is animals' natural language. Yes, they meow, yes, they bark, yes, they make vocal sounds, but that is like our secondary language that we don't know about being telepathy. Their vocalizations are sort of their secondary language. Their main language is actually telepathy. So telepathy, as it says here on this slide, is a energetic connection, and everything has an energy. So from sort of the sun up in the sky, that great ball of energy, to the lowliest little paramecium floating around in our stomachs, everything has an energy. And so all living beings, I think of them like we're all radio stations. We're all like little mini radio stations of energy. We're all transmitting and we're all receiving energy. And we all have our, you know, unique frequencies. So so how I can connect with an animal through that telepathy is by getting their frequency. How I get that frequency is the photo. The photo is like having the call letters of the radio station that I was talking about. It's like knowing where that energy lives. So for that reason, like, yeah, I don't have to touch the animal. I don't have to be in the same room as an animal. I don't have to be near the animal. Like, these are all animals on your screen that have been in places all over the world. So left to right there is Louisa, who is in North Carolina, Wednesday, who lived in Santa Monica, and I connected with all these animals while I was sitting in my bedroom here. That's Roxy and Mao in New York City. Up top there, the dog there is Bowser, and he lived in London. Jen Tong, the elephant there in the foreground, baby elephant in Thailand, I also connected with. And then the rabbit down there on the lower left is Polly, and she lives in Bolivia. So, and again, because as I said, this is an energetic connection, not a physical one. Like, we all have an energy, and our bodies are physical. Our bodies eventually wither, they die. We our bodies kind of die. But energy endures. Energy is forever. That's why I can also connect with animals that have passed. These 3 animals on your screen right now have all passed, and I've talked to all of them. That's Lindsay on the left, the horse, and in the middle is the dog Jack, and on the right is the dog Cooper. Yeah, I've spoken to all of them, even though they have passed over. Okay, so I wanted to give you an example of, how telepathy is working, how this sort of secret language that we were born with, that we've forgotten about, that we don't have our attention on, is working even when we're not aware of it. So anyone who has a cat knows that once in a while you have to take the cat to, the vet, or maybe to the groomers sometimes to get their nails trimmed. Same with dogs. And, it's a dreaded adventure usually. And you see there a simple sentence that I might say to my wife about, like, yeah, I have made an appointment, and I say, I need to take Lyle to the groomer to get his nails trimmed. Okay, pretty simple words, simple information in that sentence. But while, and Lyle doesn't understand English. Lyle, the cat there that is going to go to the groomers, he doesn't understand the words. But Lyle's natural language, as I said, is telepathy. And while I am saying those words, I am also using telepathy, even though I'm not aware of it. So when I say this simple sentence, I need to take Lyle to the groomer to get his nails trimmed, my brain is creating images just naturally. That's what it will do, that go with that sentence, that will illustrate it. So my brain's going to create a little mini movie of pictures that go with that sentence. So it will show pictures of Lyle probably going into the carrier. It will show a picture of maybe the drive, Lyle on the front seat going down to the groomers. It will show a picture of us sitting, waiting in the parking lot, right? And these days, we're not in the waiting room, we're in the parking lot. It will show, definitely by the time I'm saying the part about get his nails trimmed, my brain's going to create an image of Lyle with his paw out and some strange person, probably with a mask on, clipping his nails. So think about that simple sentence in those words that Lyle doesn't understand, and yet I'm also making this complex sort of series of pictures through telepathy. Not only pictures, but also feelings. And I don't know about any of you who have cats, but when you think about, or you speak about taking the cat to the vet or the groomers, that's a whole thing. That makes me anxious. I'm anxious for Lyle for putting him through it. I'm anxious for me for having to put the cat through it, right? Those feelings are also getting transmitted, even though I'm not aware of it, even though all I've done is say that sentence. But let me tell you, when I go into the other room, and maybe some people can relate to this, it's like they know, because what's happening, like on the day of the appointment, I go into the room. After I speak this sentence, Lyle's hiding. Lyle knows he's going to the groomers. Now, how did he know? He doesn't understand English. Lyle understands telepathy. He understands the pictures that I sent. He understands the feelings. So not only is Lyle hiding, probably all of my cats are hiding because they all know the score. And let me tell you, I have not found a good system to trick them, because your animals are always, they're constantly, not always, but they are constantly tuning into you. They are reading your energy. They are feeling it. They are seeing the pictures that you're sending out, even though you're not aware of it. If you get nothing else from today, know this: your animals get your messages, even though you don't understand telepathy, right? Yet. Even with just speaking those words that your animals do not understand, they will be getting the pictures, they will be getting the feelings, they will understand you. I get a kick out of, like, a lot of people when they hire me to help usually with a problem, and they say, you know, make sure you tell my animal, cat, dog, whatever, that I love them. And I don't have to connect to the animal to know. I can tell them right away. I say, like, I'm pretty sure your animal already knows that. Even though they don't know the words, you know, I love you, right? They've gotten the feelings from you. They've gotten the pictures that you're not even aware that you're sending of both of you, like cuddling or close. So know that your animals get those messages. Now, that doesn't mean, you know, they are always going to do what you want them to, right? Because often we send messages like, don't do that. That gets into a trickier area. I mean, part of it is they have their own will, probably their own reasons. Maybe they don't want to do something. And the other thing is, with telepathy, there's you can't transmit negatives. Like, there's no such thing as going, like, they don't get don't. Like, you can't do a picture, you can't get a negative. So it's a little tricky. But so, you know, making them do what you want is not the easiest thing, but certainly, like, your expressions of love and stuff, like, they absolutely get that. All right. There's the job. There's what it looks like. So yeah, so not very glamorous, but I think it's absolutely glamorous and exciting because, you know, it doesn't look like much, but right there I am connecting with, I'm basically having a conversation with an animal. I'm listening to what they're telling me. So I have my notebook, I have my pen. Underneath that, I have, you can see sort of hidden, that's the photos that usually is the marker. That's how I connect with their energy. And you can see that my eyes are closed and I look kind of relaxed. I'm in a meditation. The meditation is the most important part of all of this work. It's how we connect with the animal. It's how we telepath. Many of you know, or at least are aware of meditation and maybe know that, you know, it benefits us, it relaxes us, and there's all kinds of benefits. Well, let me add to the benefits that this is the way we communicate with animals. Now, when I said before, we're all sort of walking radio stations transmitting and receiving. Well, especially in the modern age, especially with these big brains, we're mostly transmitting. We're sending out all kinds of fears and anxieties and plans. We're sending it out, but we're not very good at receiving it. When we're sending out and sending out and sending out, and that's like all we're doing, we're not going to be able to get to receive, to hear what an animal has to say, because they're working on that sort of subtle, energetic level. Meditation gets us there. Meditation is the means in which we connect with an animal. Now, in this class, I was going to like take you through it because, again, meditation, it's one thing to talk about it, but in order to learn to do it, you have to do it. And it doesn't matter where you are. Meditation is a practice. It is something that you start off not very good at. So even if you're not very good at it, you just keep at it. You just keep at it. And the better you get at it, the easier it's going to be to sort of do what I do. So for me, like, and if we were doing this in person, I would take you through a long meditation that relaxes your body first. That starts with breathing. When we breathe normally, you know, not like I'm nervous now, so I'm not breathing normally. You know, we relax and we relax our body, and then later in the meditation is all about relaxing the mind, getting the mind to shut up, because it's not about like the transmitting, we're receiving. So yeah, so I would take you through a long meditation, and generally part of the meditation is usually visualization. So you're in nature somewhere. That's what I like to do if I have the time, is a very long meditation where I imagine I'm in this beautiful place of nature. Best place to meet an animal is if you're picturing some place in nature. And then I go on a little journey, and I go sort of down underground is how I do it. and I go on a little journey and walk down this cave or whatever, and at the end is the animal, and that's sort of the backdrop of the meditation. And then I just like am quiet and like, what does the animal have to tell me? I might ask a question. So at this point, I want to stop. I want to check my time for one. And if you have any questions before I move on, oops. Let's see. Okay. Any questions so far? I don't see anybody. A little. Okay. All right. I'll just continue on. Okay. So why do we need an animal communicator? Besides the fact that it's awful cool to kind of know what your loved animal thinks and wants and feels. Obviously, that's a great thing to know. But, you know, most people contact me because they have problems, because something with their animals is off, whether it's physical, behavioral, emotional. It could be any one of those things. And usually, if you don't know, if you aren't aware of what an animal communicator does, if you've never used one, you know, if we have problems with our animals, we have two options. Pardon me. One is the vet, you know, and everyone, the vet is obviously, when you're taking care of an animal, is critical, is a very important professional that you always have to rely on. But a vet is not good for every problem. A vet is the #1 solution for physical problems, but not so much for emotional or behavioral, right? You know, a vet is not very good at treating they treat the symptoms, say, of anxiety or, you know, fear or something like that. And usually that's drugs. I would say that that's not, you know, it's not treating the actual reason, the actual problem, it's just treating the symptom. So, and, you know, the types of problems I get, I just want to give you an example. So often it's behaviors that are off. Like for a cat, it's peeing outside the litter box, or a dog also eliminating in the house, or anxieties or fears, you know, fears of strangers, aggression toward other animals or humans. You know, we just went through the 4th of July. I had clients who had animals, this is common, with a huge fear of fireworks, right? Loud noises, right? Also could be physical problems, but, you know, just a wide range. Basically, something's off, right? Your animal's doing something that clearly, you know, it's off for them. So again, so our normal options are the vet, as I said, good for some problems, not so good for others. The other is like the internet, like often, right? The internet, run to the internet. Let's, or, you know, maybe put it up on Facebook and, you know, get some people to give their opinions. Well, if I Google, you know, why is my cat peeing outside a litter box, I'm going to get 25 different reasons. What's the reason, you know? Should I guess? Well, with an animal communicator, I can know, because I can get it straight from the animal. I can ask them directly, and they'll tell me. I mean, most problems, they'll tell me pretty straight away. You know, some of them are a little more complicated. Like sometimes aggression comes from, you know, past abuse or whatever, and like I need to like explore that. What happened? Why are they like that? Is it just men, or is it women? You know what I mean? Like it can, but most problems are, you know, pretty simple, and you get it from the animal himself. He'll tell me, or herself. So that's why I think an animal communicator is really valuable. Now I'll give you just so, I'll get to that question. I like that question, but let me continue. So this is, I want to give you some examples of some of the animals that I've talked to and some of the issues they've come to me with. This is Prince. Prince is human. Prince's person contacted me. She had adopted Prince and had him for a little less than a month. And she wanted me to talk to Prince because she was thinking about adopting another horse and wanted me to run it by him to check with him if he was okay with that, which I thought was great. I mean, first of all, it's a great use of an animal communicator. You know, when we're thinking of adopting another animal, we want to make sure they're a good fit for our house. So it totally makes sense to check with the animals you already have. And also, like, who is this animal that's coming in? Yeah, you can spend time with them, but actually connecting with them through telepathy, you'll really get a you know, their essence, like who they really are. And you definitely don't want to say bring in an alpha cat or dog to a household you already have an alpha cat or dog. They'll just butt heads. So I just think, you know, that's a great use of an animal communicator. Anyway, so I connected with Prince, and pretty quickly, yeah, I got to that question. It's like, you know, is he okay with her adopting another horse? And he said no. And he said pretty clearly no, but he gave a reason. He said not yet, that their relationship wasn't strong enough yet, that they were still getting to know each other, which makes sense. It makes sense, doesn't it? And so, yeah, I told this to the woman. She did wait. She didn't adopt that horse right away. She did end up adopting that horse months later when their relationship with her and Prince was more solid, and it's worked out fine. This is Fidel. Fidel, as you can see, looks a little worse for the wear. He has the little rip in his ear, and he's blind in one eye. He also has one leg that didn't set right, got broken. I think he's absolutely handsome. But, you know, he got adopted by a friend of mine who is an amazing cat rescuer, and she has a big cat family. And Fidel immediately started attacking the cats, particularly this black male cat. Fidel would attack him on sight. So she wanted help with that, and I connected with Fidel, and yeah, I found out in Fidel's past he was abused. I saw scenes of the abuse from the hands of humans, like he was in a family that abused and neglected him. He didn't show me too much of that. Usually animals don't like to dwell on that. Then he showed me scenes of being on the street. And, you know, on the street, it's street law. In order to survive, you have to, you know, you fight first, ask questions later. Might makes right. You know, every cat, especially males, are a threat to you eating or surviving. So he attacked everybody. Like that was his general, you know, mode of operating. So, and then he comes into this family where everyone's sort of serene and he's acting like that. And I'll get back to him. And this is Marmalade, another cat. Marmalade's family had to move to Scotland for work. And apparently the quarantine laws for animals are very onerous. So the family decided to leave the cat behind in California. They had some trusted friends to take care of Marmalade, and there was another cat too that was a family cat. So, and this had happened months prior, and the woman was, you know, the other thing, I don't know if you can tell, Marmalade's 19 years old. This was last year, and I don't think she looks it. But this woman was feeling guilty. She was feeling terrible about, you know, leaving her cat behind, a cat that she grew up with, that she knew, you know, 19 years, right? So because the cat's 19, she wanted to know if she was all right, if she was physically okay being like 19. So I connected with Marmalade. I found out that her personality was very, you know, big, like a queen. She was a boss. She was sort of a female alpha. She loved bossing the other cat around. She's very confident and very proud. And so, and, you know, gradually as I was talking to her, she did admit that she felt bad that the family had moved away. But on the other hand, she was the type of personality that could handle it. that was okay. She trusted her person enough to know that even though she doesn't understand work and moving away for work, that there was a reason, right? So she was okay. And not only that, she was physically okay. There was nothing wrong with her. She was completely healthy. So when I tell that to the person, she, you know, she cried. She's like, it was relieving, you know, her cat's okay. And not only that, Marmalade told me, I don't know how Marmalade knew this, but there was going to be a reunion. I don't know how she knew that, but yeah, 4 or 5 months later, they ended up moving back to California. And there was a reunion, sort of like how Marmalade laid it out in the pictures she showed me like 4 or 5 months earlier. So that is a wonderful, happy ending. I love those. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess the point I want to make here is, you know, this is not a parlor trick, right? This is not a game. This is real stuff. We, you know, an animal communicator can make a real difference in the life of an animal in terms of their well-being and in terms of their bond with the humans, you know. So some of the other things, like, as I said, like, an animal communicator is great for solving problems with animals. It starts with the communication to know what's wrong, and then there are things I know that can help with the problem. So if it's an emotional problem, EFT tapping is very effective. Google EFT tapping, it's used on humans. It is tapping on acupressure points in the body to release old trauma or anxiety or, you know, stuff that we hold in our bodies. Very effective with combat vets for PTSD. Most people don't know that it works on animals too. Those are the tapping points on an animal. And again, this is an energetic connection primarily, not a physical one. So I did EFT tapping on Fidel. Now, you can't, generally you can't touch a cat, right? Sometimes dogs will definitely put up with, but a stranger cat, especially a defensive cat, a cat who's been abused, I'm not going to be touching Fidel. It still works because, again, just like telepathy, this is an energetic, it works on the level of energy. So we tap on Fidel to release the trauma. Fidel is in a family now that's, you know, is safe, is going to get something to eat, and is going to be able to exist without having to fight for anything. So EFT tapping releases that old stuff, right? The stuff that he learned on the street or, you know, that he grew up with being abused. Now he's in this loving family. And so this next photo is after 3 sessions of EFT tapping. This is Fidel on the left, and on the right is the cat he was attacking. That's the cat that he was attacking on site aggressively. And you can see that they're lying peacefully near each other. Not only that, Fidel has his back to, you know, the old Fidel, like he would never give his back to a potential aggressor, and everyone was a potential aggressor. So, yeah, so EFT tapping. Then there's another thing that I use to help with animals, usually physical problems, called scalar wave energy healing. What are we doing on time? Okay. So when I say again that everything has an energy, health has an energy. The energy of health. You know, your body, when it's in the energy of health, it's orderly. It's you know, sort of working all in rhythm, right? The energy is very sort of flat and just general, and everything's working. Now, sickness is an energy of chaos, of disruption. Your body's getting disrupted, and the energy is all an energy of chaos. Scalar wave is an energy wave that puts the body back into its balance. It helps it put the body back into balance. Scalar wave was an energy wave that was discovered by Nikola Tesla, and then in, I believe, the 1970s, Dr. Valerie Hunt of UCLA discovered that it could be used for healing. So, so this is Natty, the dog whose person called me after Natty had a diabetic seizure and rushed her to the hospital. We did a scalar wave in between 2 blood sugar tests. The first blood sugar test was elevated, was spiked. We did scalar wave to again put the body back into balance. There was a test after where the blood sugar readings were in a normal range. Now, and I'm not saying that I am a vet, right? This person did the right thing. They went to the vet first. You don't call the animal communicator first when your animal has a physical problem. The responsible thing to do is what this person did, is she goes to the vet first and then calls me to help support the healing. All right, so, and I just want to go real quick because the time, I just want to make sure we have time to do some of the communications and answer your questions. So these are some of the animals that I helped with either scalar wave or EFT tapping. And again, it all begins with a communication, because I can't do any of these things until I know what the problem is, right? So Atreo on the left, diabetes, scalar wave. Up on the right, the cat Mina, kidney disease, scalar wave, got her eating pretty quickly. She had no appetite. On the lower right, Nika, here's an example where communication was key. She had several traumas, like incidents that happened in vehicles. So she was absolutely terrified of getting into a car. So for that, EFT tapping to help her shed her anxiety. On the left, Frankie, various anxieties and fears, including like will the doorway collapse on her? She was afraid to enter this particular doorway. EFT tapping. And then on the right is Luna, fear of abandonment. Luna was one of those dogs who got adopted from a shelter, then given back. Adopted, given back, like 3 or 4 times. And when that happens to an animal, believe me, they're traumatized. So again, EFT tapping. So yeah, this is a real thing. This really makes a difference. Now, and I want to sort of close here with, how can I do this myself, meaning yourself? Now, again, in the class we would have done in person, I would have shown you. And if you want, like I am offering classes, and the price is very reasonable. I'm offering one on August 1. But I will sort of tell you, not EFT tapping and not scalar wave, they're particular disciplines that take specialized training. But in terms of communicating with your animal, you have everything you need to do it right now. You were born with it. So how can I do it? The first is meditation. It is very key. It's very important. It again, shuts down the brain, shuts down the transmitter, turns up the intuition, the ability to receive from the animal, to hear what they say. So, and again, no matter where you are in your meditation practice, you can start at any time. 2, drop the human filter. Now, what do I mean by that? You know, everyone here, I am sure, loves their animals. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. But we all have it, including me. What I mean by the human filter is that we sort of judge the animals through the human experience rather than their experience. The more we can drop that bias, the more open we can become to what they have to tell us. Let me tell you, at this point, I've communicated with almost 1,000 individual, unique animals. And I will say that I have found no emotion that a human has that an animal doesn't also have, in just as much complexity and depth. Also, their thinking is, you would be absolutely surprised on how complex it is. They just don't think the way we think. They don't think orderly. They don't think orderly, sort of the intellectual orderliness we have. But they have complex thinking patterns. And in terms of emotions, everything, joy, sadness, they feel, I've run into animals that feel elation at accomplishing something. They feel deep grief, even for prolonged periods, when they lose a fellow animal or human. Everything. They have hopes and dreams. Animals have hopes and dreams. They just don't, they're not human ones. They don't want to write the great American novel. They don't want to get the great job. But they want to get, position one next to you in bed or on the couch. Or they want to be let outside to hunt in the grass. Or they remember that dog that they met 3 doors down that they walk by every day. They want to see him again, right? So the more we sort of drop that, the more open we become to what they have to tell us. And I can tell you, after all the animals I've spoken to, I've met plenty in terms of their experience and their wisdom that I would say are more advanced than I am. And, when I meet those animals, I know, like, they have something to teach me, not the other way around. Yeah, and the more we drop that human filter, you'll see the bond with your own animal. It just will get deeper and deeper. And when I said before, let me go to the last thing, practice. So again, and even meditation could have a parenthetical, it's practice. Like doing this, in order to do it, you have to do it. It's not something that you can read in a book or even get from this lecture. You'll get sort of the outline, but you practice. And it's very hard to practice with your own animals because you have all this emotional baggage. You're not neutral, right? We want to be neutral and sort of, not with our brains going, oh, what's wrong with him? That kind of thing. So the best is to, practice with your friends' animals, pardon me. But know this, remember what I said before, that your animals are always getting your messages. Well, now you know this. So now you can at least open that channel wider, right? You can now give your messages to your animals with more intent, more intention. Like, not only I love you, but you can say, I love you because of this, this, and this. I love you even though you do this. It's just like, my wife loves that. Why do you love me? Give them a list. When you do that kind of thing, you're opening the connection with them. You're buttering them up. So you're making it so that maybe one day you will have the confidence to sort of say what you want to say to them, and then in a meditation, be quiet and see if you get something back. And you will. Your animals, absolutely, more than they want to talk to me, they want to talk to you. So if you, make the effort, they'll be absolutely thrilled. All right. So that's my website. I see some questions. I'm going to answer them briefly, and then I will, as much as I can, I will try and connect with some of your animals. Some of the library people also submitted sort of photos of their animals, which is easier for me. I can also do, think about like what animal, like if you have multiple animals, pick one. Tell me whether it's a male or female, and some kind of description. If you know the breed, or white with something spots, or something like that. Get that ready. I'll answer questions first. So dark archive, what is the farthest animal you have connected with? I'm not sure distances. I think Thailand's pretty far. That with the elephants, and also cats in Dubai. I don't know where Dubai is, but pretty far. It doesn't matter where. They could be on Mars. Good to see you too, Janet. Okay, when Phoenix asks, how do you communicate with the animal, with pictures or with words? It's funny. I don't know. I think it's because in the meditative state, you're in sort of a different state. You're not in sort of like a normal, like, but I can say words and they will understand it. I often do also, because I've done this so many times. I can do pictures, and I can show pictures to them, so we can almost like talk in pictures, and also feelings. But a lot of that, honestly, a lot of what I do is just being quiet. You know, you will generally, whatever question the person has that they want me to ask the animal, they've been asking that so many times in their own head that the animal already knows. It's almost like I don't even have to say anything. They start showing me what it is right away. So it's a good question. What do I tell dogs about why not to be afraid of fireworks? Well, I usually in a communication, like, it's not enough. I can't just tell them like, don't be afraid or whatever. I do know that after talking with a lot of them, a lot of it is just like, it's just this unsourced, I have no idea where it's coming from, these ridiculous noises, and they think there might be a threat, and they'd be fine if they just could put it to something, like it's a truck or something. Because it's the unknown, that's the problem. That's where usually I have to go to EFT tapping. EFT tapping just show them that they're safe, that they're protected, that no matter what the sounds are, that they're not going to be hurt, that they're safe, that they're okay. And that usually works. That's definitely, I've had clients that do that, that have done that. I mean, I could talk to Dark Archive. Oh, Jennifer, what do you tell you about why they're afraid? Jennifer asks, what do they tell me about why they're afraid? Every reason in the book. They'll show me. Usually, it's not, and it could be, a million reasons. Dark Archives asks, can you talk to famous animals like Lassie or Balto or Masterpiece the poodle? Theoretically, I can. Their energy is still around. I mean, a good, to be in integrity to do this, I never talk to an animal without, the person's permission. I don't, obviously that doesn't really apply to Lassie or Balto or Masterpiece, because they're people have probably passed, I think. I don't know who the last two are, but yeah, I could. It's theoretically possible. Is there a way to make a pit bull and a cat to get along with each other? Yeah, I mean, absolutely, there's a way, and it may take a few steps, but that's what I'm here for. That's my job. Is like when I'm presented with problems like that, you have to talk to the pit bull. What does the pit bull say? Why does he not like the cat? Why does the cat not like the pit bull? And it's not like an overnight fix sometimes, but I can usually get the answer. And Bar Hansen asks, my cat Emma is now rejecting wet food. Why is this? Well, maybe that's something I can address if I connect with her. Maybe that's what you want me to do. But yeah, so, okay. How's the interference now, Neil? I'm sorry, I'm just seeing that. Is my mic blowing out? Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I probably got a little excited. Okay. All right, I will get to communications. I want to do Diane's because I will sort of bounce back between some of the library people and anyone in the chat. So definitely, if you're in the chat now and want me to connect with your animal, think about one question. And like as Anne says, as sort of like what Anne did, she has a Chihuahua and her name is Bella and 11 years old. That's good information to have. So, and also like the sex, male, female. So I will start getting into these. I want to do Diane's. So I forget, Diane, do you want me, I don't know if you're here. Diane, are you here? Can you say something if you are? Okay. Do you want me to do Tanaya, sorry if I mispronounce, or... Okay. And the question is, so she has this dog, Tanaya, beautiful. Why do you really not like cats? All right, so let me get into a little meditation, and I'll connect with her briefly. Okay, she's first of all, she wasn't happy about quick greeting. I think she would prefer to, know who I am a little bit better. I see her kind of going after the cats. It just feels like it's just the type of animal. It's just like she doesn't like them. She doesn't like cats. Trying to think if there's anything. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they're in her way, or they just bug her with the things they do. She just had no kind of tolerance for them, I guess, is what I'd say. All right. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. Bar Hansen, are you here? Do you want me to do Emma? Let me go to Anna. So Chihuahua, her name is Bella. You adopted a 1.5-year-old dog her size. How long? Tell me this, Anna. How long ago was the adoption? And I'll start focusing in on Bella. Yeah, so Bella feels a little betrayed. Not quite getting why there's this new dog, I guess. Not comfortable. Bella's very close to you, so yeah, just again, like not very so far tolerant. Now this is common. It takes a breaking in period when you adopt a new animal. For generally, like sometimes they're smooth, but they're not always smooth. I would just suggest that you just make sure you reinforce how much you love Bella. Like that, often that's the best thing you can do when your animal that's in the house already and has this bond with you, and you bring in someone else. They're like, why did you do that? It's almost like, so just tell Bella you love her. I want to do I don't know if Kathy, you're here. I'm going to do cricket. Are you here, Kathy? Just want to make sure. It's kind of pointless. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so Kathy wants to know if this is cricket. Kathy wants to know if cricket had a good life before the animal shelter. What was before she was adopted from the animal shelter? What was her life like? I'll try and get a snapshot. Really, really happy and bonded with you. Really loves her life. I'm just, because she's showing me this. Not crazy about talking about the past. Kind of like, you know, why does it matter? Did not like the shelter. Very content now. Not. Let's see. Not. She's not crazy about this question. She keeps on showing me what life like is now. I think someone told me, but I know you have another cat. It seems like they both get along really well. Although I definitely Cricket's very attached to you, so there might be a little gamesmanship there. You know, she's not showing me much about her life before the shelter. She's kind of like, she doesn't want to talk about it. I really got the feeling that the shelter was not good, so that's for sure. So, and before that, it felt like maybe like on the street a little bit. I wasn't sure about humans, but she kept changing me to go back to the here and now. So, okay. Someone had a question. Bar Hansen, how do I communicate audibly? Yeah, unfortunately you can't. It's only in text. Okay. Sandra. The Tuffy cat has been overeating and gaining weight. I want him to be okay. So Sandra has a question about Tuffy cat overeating and gaining weight. If it's okay, I know we're at time. I don't mind going a little bit over. So if you want to hang out, and I definitely want to get, don't worry, I'm going to get to all the library staff animals too. So I definitely will do that. So if you're with the library and you can hang out, I'll probably go like about 15 minutes anyway extra. So, and I will try and get to everybody I can. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get to everybody. But so Sandra says, Tuffy Cat has been overeating and gaining weight these last few years. I want him to be healthy, but I'm worrying, is there something I can do to help him? Well, what I can do is sort of, you know, I can tune into like why, if he's overeating, like why he's doing that. So, and he's 14, so it might be, well, let me just tune in what he says. Yeah, I can definitely see he's very food oriented. I'm I'm not sure. I mean, animals can emotionally eat just like humans can. It's trying to think, is there something going on in the house? I feel like I do feel like part of it is just maybe age or something. Seems like he's always been interested in food. I don't see him as being too active, so that might be, there might be an emotional component. I'm trying to zero in on what that is. I don't know. There's some like fear or anxiety that I can't place it yet, and I can't. If I had a longer session, I could probably sort of get to the bottom of that. But I do feel like he gets what he wants from you. So, and I hate telling anyone to put an animal on a diet. I really do. So that's something you have to discuss with your vet. I do not get, at least in a cursory scan, like there's a immediate like health problem or anything like that, but he's definitely food oriented. So, okay. All right, I want to do Terry Nibbles. So Nibbles is this beautiful. Nibbles is a female, and Terry wants to know, how can I get her to trust me enough to climb on my arm? So currently, I guess Terry can only pet Nibbles like while she's in the cage, and so I guess there's something with that. Let me tune in. Greeted me sort of loudly, squawking, flapping. Definitely a personality, seems like. Took me to her cage right away. I mean, it feels like she really likes her cage. That's one thing for sure. Which is weird. It's not what I would expect. I don't know if you can text me a little back, but the bond with your husband feels stronger. I feel like there's a little tentativeness with that she's picking up with you. I don't know. Is that true? Nibbles seems a lot sort of easier with your husband. There's some kind of tension going with the whole, like, I think there's so much energy around sort of the connection. I think just sort of being patient, maybe accepting. So what does she say about that? Yeah, when I mean, one thing, every time I see her coming out of the cage, it's always your husband, husband, husband. So, and, you know, I don't know that much about birds, but I would definitely like, I don't know if you can feed her more. So, and I will say this, one thing I can definitely suggest is your husband can start saying, it's like, you know, communicating to Nibbles is like, look, you know, uh, we're all a family here, and I would love it if you can sort of hang out with Terry more, you know? Um, it's it's not that she doesn't trust you. It's that the bond is stronger, it seems like, with your husband, that you're a little tentative with her, and you know, she's definitely like on her own terms, it seems like. So you know, she's particular. She is not, she has sort of her own timing. And I know it's been, what you said, 10 years or something. I think your husband is sort of one of the keys to that. Yeah. If you worry about her biting you, and let me tune in, like, if that's, you know, and what she's doing is like like I'm getting words like stop that, like stop the like flinching, or like she's upset at that. So I think part of it is you're coming, and you know, this is common, and you know, I'm not, you know, I don't know if it's happened, if she has bitten you, but it's like my wife has a little bit of that with one of my cats. She's feels like the cat doesn't like her and is gonna maybe, and because the cat has hissed at her before, but it hasn't really, so she's very tentative with it, and it sort of makes the cat on edge. I would say whatever you can do, so this is just a suggestion, to have it come through your husband. So like, as I would make your husband sort of, you know, because it seems like Nibbles implicitly trusts him. So put, you know, have your husband put her on your arm, and, you know, sort of like, come through that way. And I feel like, especially if you can relax, that'll be okay. Maybe, you know, with whatever treats, you do it that way. It's just your relationship is not as solid yet. And so, yeah. And let me go to my, fortunately, running long here. Okay. Okay, I'll do Sylvie with Charlie. She says, who I found wandering down the street. I've had him for several years after looking for his owner. I've had him for several years after looking for his owner. What happened to his owner? Is he happy living with me, or would he prefer to somehow go back? Dog named Charlie. Okay, I will tune in Charlie. I feel like it was a man. I feel like Charlie is really happy where he is. Let's see, did he escape? I keep getting the image of an older man. No, I don't think he would be happier. Like, he's happy where he is. Again, this is from Charlie's point of view, so I think something happened. I don't think it was an escape. Like, I don't think this dog was abused or anything like that. Yeah. I'm not sure if this person is still around. I don't know that they. I think the bond that you have with this dog is, the dog is meant to come to you. I really think that the dog loves it where he is. So I think you can rest easy on that. Yeah, Anna, sometimes that's the case. Sometimes, it takes a long time to sort it out. And so, like, I'd have to know the particulars of how your dog's acting with her. Okay. Yes, Bar Hansen cat's spirit is still around after they die. And, okay, I think Kathy said something. Oh, I didn't get the one with Nacho, so that's fine. Let me, Zoala. Okay, so if you get a chance, Zoala sent you a picture. He's 14 years old. Her question is Nacho enjoying life and does he feel love? Lately, he's been meowing a lot. Okay. Nacho. I can see him like walking around meowing. Seems like it's focused on the outside. Does he just want to go out? In a case of a 14-year-old cat that's meowing a lot, I would want to do sort of a full medical intuition, so I don't really have time for that, but I think part of it might be age. And I'm not saying that necessarily there's anything wrong. It's almost like it feels related to age, but it's not like, like if I was thinking, considering it a human, like it might be like there's symptoms of dementia. And I'm not saying it's dementia or anything like that, but there's something to do with the aging that somehow makes a cat sort of act out in different ways. That's what it feels like. But anytime I see him, he seems directed outward. So I don't know if that's a thing, if he like wants to go out. Otherwise, I would say it's some, and again, I'm not saying like it's abnormal necessarily. I've heard of cats that do this. So that's what I would say about that. Okay. What else do we got? Okay. What to know? Yeah, that's something like if one of your dogs has been dumped after he was lost. I can't do that in a short time. That's pretty heavy. I can't do that in like 5 minutes. So Kathleen Campbell asks, Bart is almost 12. He has some, I'll go another 5 minutes or so. Sorry about this. I love doing this. I don't love doing like little 5 minutes. Like I like to actually interact with people, but I want to help as much as I can. And, I don't usually do like without a picture in like 5 minutes. So I'm doing my best. So I hope I'm helping people, but unfortunately I can only do a limited number. So Bart is almost 12. He has some muscle mass. How does he feel? Okay. When I tune into Bart, I feel him he's got sort of a lumbering gait. I don't know if he's overweight. It sort of feels a little bit that way. I just think there's an age thing going on there. I'm not a vet. Just want to make clear on that. So if you feel like there's something physically wrong, definitely go to the vet. But I don't feel like there's, in this short time, he seems pretty funny and, not funny, but fine and amiable. And I don't see a big problem. But again, I'm not a vet, and this is like a very quick connection. So, all right. I want to get to so Susan, you have Wilhelmina. If you're still here, do you have a question? Meanwhile, I'll go to Beans. I don't know if Steve's here. If you are, just maybe type in the chat real quick. Okay. All right, I don't see any. Maybe you guys have split, so I'm gonna move on to Yvonne. Okay. Yvonne talks about Hunter, a large 10-month-old dog. We don't know his history. He can be very fearful and act out aggressively. He's getting better with humans as he gets used to our family. However, he barks and lunges at other dogs when I take him out for walks, particularly other large dogs. He weighs about 90 pounds and terrifies the other owners. How can I help him become less aggressive with other animals? I'm going to tune in with him. Most likely, I don't have time to do a deep dive into his past. Most likely this is something in his past. This is how he's, I don't know if you say he's 10 months, that's not very old. So I don't know if you know his past beyond that. That would be, but that could be how he is raised. And, he has some trauma. But let me tune into him and see what that feeling is like when he meets other dogs. Yeah, I get really aggressive with other dogs. I get generally okay with humans. Those can be suspicious. He's sort of definitely learned to I'm trying to see if he's doing it to protect you or because it's his own thing. It feels like it's more his own thing, but it's so like he is knee-jerk. So he is like, it seems like it's almost no doubt. Like whatever dog comes around is like, has to be, and if I could put it into words, it's like, get out, get away. And there's, yeah, it seems like no matter what dog, that's something, it's just going to take longer to unpack. It's probably in his history. And this is stuff that, like usually EFT tapping, the one thing I can do is, again, remember when I said animals get your messages? This is a dog that needs to hear, you are safe, you are safe, you are safe all the time. You are safe, you are protected. And you can also go with, you know, you do not need to guard. You do not need to guard me. I can take care of myself. I am safe. Okay? So, and I want to get back to Nacho too, because also in that question, was he enjoying life? He is like, I don't, he loves his person. So it's not about that. And it's not about, again, I think this is just some age thing. Definitely if you feel like there's something wrong with him, I think it's definitely worth, especially when an animal gets that old, to have regular checkups. So you can definitely check if there's a physical component. And then the only other thing is I just saw just longingly looking outside. Okay. Okay. Beans, I mean. He's here. Can't chat though. Beans, I mean. Okay, so you two are here. Great. Susan, let me know what you want me to ask Wilhelmina. In the meantime, I'll do Beans. So Beans, again, beautiful black cat. Everybody can see Beans. That's Steve's cat who works for the library. Had him 1 year, and Beans, I guess, bites him. So I'm gonna look into that. I will stop at 5:30, and I'm sorry, it's a half hour over, but I'll have to stop it. Yeah, so Yvonne, I want to get back to Hunter. Yeah, so if he's protective, like that's the other thing, you go, I'm in charge, I'm in charge, I'm in charge. Like, I am in charge, I'm the boss. That kind of thing, keep saying that. And so when before he goes out on the walks, just try, and again, like, it may be something that's so ingrained that, something like EFT tapping is going to happen the most, or going to have the most effect. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Kathy, so maybe like he really wants to go outside. I don't know if he ever used to be an outdoor cat. All right, so, okay, let me go to beans now. Very sort of, seems like a tough guy, or very sort of proud anyway. Maybe a little bit of a prankster in him. He kind of fluffed up his tail at me and sort of like had a little fear as well of me as a stranger. It's interesting. I do feel, I'm not sure that this is a trauma so much, you know, because often like aggression is from some kind of treatment. It feels like this is more like a battle of wills. It's kind of like, nope, I've had enough, and I'm going to show you that. And you know, it feels like a game to him. Like it's almost like a game. I honestly don't feel like he's trying to hurt you. He is sort of matching wills with you. And so, I mean, it seems like, you know, that's just the personality he has. And some animals, some cats, dogs are just kind of like that. They like playing games with their people. So, but yeah, you need to, like, that's not okay. You know, I would start, you know, I love you and you're cool and I love playing games with you, but this biting game, not gonna work. He's really smart and intuitive is what I get. So he kind of knows what he's doing here. I do think there's a bit of it too that he's just, it's like, yeah, he just like gets to a point where he's had enough. Like he doesn't, whatever the contact is, like you're in close with him or whatever, he's like, all right, get away. Like I've had enough. So it's kind of both of those things. So that's why I feel like the biting's coming from. Okay. Susan, can you, what's she doing? Because then I can tune into that. Like if she's stressed about something, I can tune into the feelings behind like whatever she's doing. I'm sorry, this will be the last one. I'm going to do Wilhelmina. And like I said, anyone, you can, if you want to learn this further, you can, I have a class on August 1st. My website's there, animalmichaellane.com. I'm sorry I can't get to everybody. I think I'm doing another talk maybe in September. Yeah. So Susan, what is Wilhelmina doing? And here's Wilhelmina. If anyone wants to see, beautiful cat. So Susan asks if Wilhelmina is stressed about something. She has crystals in her urine, and you get that it was stress related. So you've taken her to the vet? I mean, definitely take her to the vet, for sure. Crystals in urine. I will tune into her, but I can see if it's physical or stress related, but. I don't know. I don't know. She's aggressive sometimes. Is this recent behavior? I mean, I get that she's bonded with you. I mean, definitely a particular cat, like. I would definitely have her checked out. I know, you know, what I'm getting is that it's physical, that it might be related to food, to diet. I don't, you know, and I get a general, like, she's not feeling good, and that maybe some of the behavior is not feeling good. Really? Always been aggressive. Well, let me go deeper here. How long have you had her? I mean, she's very headstrong. I mean, I see her just prowling, and, you know, I would say a little independent. I don't get many scenes of cuddling. I get general sort of like a little crotchety. Just sort of generally unsettled. I don't get that she really likes noise, that kind of thing, but the crystals. Yeah, doesn't like disturbances. I mean, I keep seeing a lot of her solitary and prowling. Again though, I feel like I do feel like the crystals itself is physical. Did they? Okay, they ruled out medical issues, but what about the diet? Did they ever talk to you about diet? Because it's not diet. I mean, that's what I'm getting. I do get that she in general can be crotchety, and so there may be physical symptoms of that. So all right, well, I think we've come to the end. I have no idea like how many people were in the room and how many people I did not get to, and I'm sorry. This is not ideal to sort of do it in this situation. Like, you know, when I work with clients, I love to have sort of a back and forth, and when I through text, it's not ideal. So I'm sorry, and 5 minutes is also not enough time to really usually delve into something. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how it works, and help you in a little way if I could. So again, I appreciate everyone being here, and definitely, Susan, if you want to email me, like if we haven't finished this off for you, definitely email me, and we can talk about it further, like what I got from Wilhelmina. And yeah, so I guess this is it. Thank you again for everyone who attended. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your animal. Again, I believe there's going to be another one of these later in the fall. So, but thanks to everyone for doing this. And yeah, Neil, what do I do now? Okay. All right. Well, bye everyone. I hope you learned something. I hope it was valuable. I mean, if nothing else, know that your bond with your animals, you have this connection. You can communicate with them, even if it's one way right now, like you to them. And thank you.